Okay. Hello, welcome back to the room. Um, so we made a bit of progress yesterday. We went through two new areas. So we went through apartment world and we went through hospital world. And now we're in a pretty sticky situation right now, simply because the room itself has started to turn against us. And quite frankly, that's not exactly what we want. And last time I wasted a lot of now quite crucial healing items on some encounters that I really shouldn't have stuffed up that badly. So we're going to have a read here. So there's a letter here. Mummy, I'll give you this, so please wake up soon. It's inside my toy train. So this is going to come in handy very shortly. Got the toy key. It's another key. Scrap of red paper in here. Found two more mysterious and powerful artifacts that seem to be very effective for evading the ghost victims, the Holy Candle and the Saint Medallion. Not only are they effective against the ghost victims in the other world, they also seem to prevent them from invading my room. Just like the candle, near where they're coming in, and its holy power is activated. The Saint Medallion seems to repel unholy energy when it's worn, equipped. I'm starting to gain some hope. So these are the two items that we found last time that were very, very useful to us. So we need to recover. So we're once again back in the subway world. So we've started cycling back down through all of the previous areas that we've made it through in the game so far, and the game has become a lot more difficult. I'm gonna have to use my last healing drink here, I think, and I'm gonna grab the coin. All right. So I'm expecting that we might actually run into some trouble here, simply because the game has become a lot harder, and now we also have to look out for Eileen, who in the last time I streamed was attacked, and so is sort of in need of a lot of help. We need to escort her through the game, and she is not the world's most reliable escort partner in terms of what she does. So you just have to keep a careful eye on her. And you can see the subway area is now populated by enemies that we first found in the building world. But what we're going to try and do is just move through here. So move quite quickly too. So you see we got a trail of here. And yeah, so Ghost Cynthia, if you remember Cynthia from the very beginning of the game, is now an enemy, and she's very, very powerful. She destroyed a lot of my health last time. Henry is not being very helpful. Here we go. Alright. Now, Eileen only follows you when through different rooms when she's really close to you. So that can be a problem. And now I think there's a couple of items in here that I'm going to try and get. So we'll just try and maneuver past these guys. Well, I say maneuver past, but... Is that thing not dead? Is that the problem? Oops. So you see Eileen, I've given Eileen a weapon. She can attack herself. But it's not going very well. Henry is not very good at targeting the enemies when you want him to, especially on keyboard, which is what I'm playing on, which is perhaps a bad choice, but I'm showing off the PC version that you can get on GOG, so that's all I can really do. So we've got a horse riding crop, and that's the next tier for Eileen, so we're going to give Eileen that weapon. And cool. There is some more health here, which we are going to need because I do anticipate some problems coming up. Oh, just the Konami logo? That's strange. Oh, you're right. Alright, I'll try and fix that. Don't know why it's doing that. Okay. What are we seeing now? Sorry, I didn't see that before. Can we see the gameplay now? Can you hear the gameplay actually? What's it doing? Gotta love technical difficulties. Okay, I might restart the game and just run through the same little section again if it isn't working. So I'll try that again. Apologies about that. So was there audio coming through? Just a black screen. Okay. That's cool. Okay, we'll try that again. Okay. My bad. Okay. All right. How about now? We getting any of this? So we should just be coming into the main menu. All right. All right. Thanks for that. Audio is still good as well. It's a good thing we made that save. So now we can actually see what's going on, which helps a lot. All right. So we're gonna head once again back in here. I'm just gonna replay this little section. So as I was saying, yep. So Eileen's been hurt. We need to escort her through to the end. And there's some enemies, but we're just going to try and maneuver pretty quickly back through this area and avoid the ghost of Cynthia. So all the people that we saw get killed earlier in the game have now come back as sort of mega powerful ghosts. And yep, you can see Eileen insists on not coming with us when we're too far away. So I moved too quickly for Eileen. So we're just going to have to run back and get her, because if she stays alone for too long, I believe she gets some passive damage done to her. And that's not exactly what we want to happen, because... Oh, been trapped. Hey, thanks. So there's Eileen here. So we're gonna come back through. And we're just gonna, again, so obviously Eileen is really, really badly injured. I'm just gonna try and slip through. Okay. So Eileen's actually, she's got some things to say, and she can attack. So she's not a passive follower, which is a good idea, and it does add some much needed character to just the game in general. But unfortunately, Henry doesn't say anything in response to her, so you sort of get this awkward, like she says something, she asks a question even. You can see the camera angles really do get pretty dodgy. That was pretty terrible. Cool. And well, you can still push around the enemy. They're actually still alive. So we're going to try and kill these two, because I really don't want them doing any more damage to me. Okay. I think, nope, still, okay, dead now. Cool. Run back through, grab these two items. So the riding crop, which is the next step up for Eileen. You can drop the handbag back at the apartment. We're back next time, and we're going to grab the nutrition drink as well, which we're probably going to need very, very shortly. Okay.
Don't go too fast.
And yeah, you see her comment. So I think the big problem with Silent Hill 4 is the fact that there's so many sort of brilliant, scary ideas. The symbolism is all great, but you just really don't. The gameplay is kind of a letdown, especially in areas like this. I've said it before, but I really hate this area. So we're going to unlock this little crate here. We're going to get the coin. And this was ages and ages ago now, but now we're going to have to shuffle back up to the bathroom, and we're going to wash the coin in the sink, and then we've got to come back and pop it in this vending machine here, which is one toy coin. So again, like the sound design in this game, great. The just general feeling of oppression is exactly what you sort of come to expect from Silent Hill. Sort of the layering of space and the playing with of just space in general. You're getting this really sort of cool subversion, I guess, of reality. But Silent Hill 4 sort of pushes frustration a little bit too far, and so even I guess I'll talk about the camera angles a bit more since I didn't really like the camera angle we got before. But so there are basically two camera angles in this game. You've got your disembodied. We'll just kill this guy. Okay, your disembodied third-person camera like this, so you sort of feel quite distanced from Henry. There's this sort of weird angles that make it look like the town itself or the area itself is watching Henry. So you're playing from the perspective, basically, of the town, of this evil sort of presence. So you're sort of kept at arm's length from Henry in these sections. But then we travel back to the apartment, and of course we've got this first-person perspective. And the first-person perspective does a heck of a lot to sort of all of a sudden make it feel like too intimate. You're on a roller coaster, and then suddenly it sort of jams to a halt. And this is where the apartment starts to turn on us. So this intimacy is really important when creating the apartment turning against you, this atmosphere. So what we can do is we can get rid of these hauntings with a candle. We just have to make sure we're putting them in the right spot. Cool. So it'll settle the windows down. Candles are really, really important in this stage of the game, so you have to place them down in the right spot, otherwise you'll waste them. Okay, we can put the handbag away, I think is all we want to put away, because I'm going to want to hold on to that. Maybe even drink this now. Yeah, might as well. Wash the coin first in the sink. So yeah, you really quickly go from being too close or too far away from Henry, and then all of a sudden you're sort of slammed right up into him, and this sort of creates this really heavy atmosphere, this tension between the two play spaces. So I'll just read this. A few days after Walter killed himself in his cell, several residents witnessed a long-haired man with a coat hair. Through his window, Richard Braintree in 207 saw the man moving something heavy and doing something in room 302. Even Sunderland, the superintendent, saw the man with the coat hanging around room 302 and confirmed there were signs of someone having been in there. Okay, July 17th. So we're constantly getting these sort of trickles of information, and that adds to the feeling of isolation and distance that we're getting from the game, because we're just being drip fed all of this information. We never quite feel comfortable with the information we have. There's always something else, some other further question that needs to be answered, and you never quite get the closure that you're after in those notes. Which just, of course, makes you want to keep playing even more, because the story really is the most important part to keep you driving through these horror games. Because if a game is is boring, or even you could even say like too scary. And the story is not good, or there's not anything that's wanting you to that's making you keep going. There's no real point in keeping playing. So she is going to be really annoying. See if we can slip through here and hope that Eileen follows us. No, she didn't, but the ghost did, so that's... Okay, we have to go back through here and save Eileen, because otherwise the ghost is going to kill her. Okay. This time she's going to follow us. Okay. We'll head down this way. Slightly janky down the stairs. I really love the just the subtle changes. Like the building itself is sort of alive and is bleeding, you know. Great. Here's a ghost again. So yep, that's Cynthia. We got the murder scene key. So that's exactly what we need, but we're gonna have to make a run for it. I'm hoping that we can pin Cynthia down with the sword. So that's what the sword here, that's what that's used for. You just got to knock her down, and hopefully we can pin her to the ground. But it didn't go very well for me last time I streamed when I tried to do this. So we'll see if we can quickly... Yep. Not happening. Just try and keep her... Just keep hitting her, and we'll see if we can get her. Nope. One more try. And yeah, you'll really start to notice the repetitive sound effects, as well as the chip damage that she can do, and this really horrible attack. And Eileen just stands there. Thanks, Eileen. And you notice as well, the axe gives us those invulnerability frames when we do our charge up attack, so that's partly why it's so useful. Okay. Can we pin her with that? No, we can't. Okay. We're just going to try and move past her then. Except Eileen, yeah, so this is the problem with Eileen's AI, and part of why she's so frustrating is that it's really hard for her, she has to be really close to follow you into the next area, and the criteria is honestly kind of weird for her to do that. So you notice, yeah, she's doing a lot of chip damage to me here, and Eileen insists on hitting her. Which is not helpful because we need Eileen to come with us right now. Cool. So this really is the part of the game where a lot of people stop playing just out of frustration, because it ceases in some way to become scared to Eileen, or that you should have to protect her and all of that. But her AI just needed to have this sort of extra level of polish, I think, that it doesn't have. She doesn't really recognize when a situation is too dangerous, and she finds it hard to disengage from enemies, which really is quite frustrating. So what I'm going to do is just try and move past these dogs. I don't think it'll work, but... Oops. Yep, that's bad. Well, if I die here, that's going to be bad too. Hopefully Eileen follows us. Yeah, gotta run for it. Okay, so I left Eileen in there, which is bad. I also don't have any health. If I run back, grab a healing item, and quickly return. So you really don't want to leave Eileen on her own for any longer than is necessary, especially not in an area with enemies, which I've just done, which is bad. So, this really isn't going as well as I thought it would be. Fortunately, yep, the apartment is not again haunted, so you can avoid any of that business. Okay. So, yeah. Let's go with first aid kit. So, yeah, really already scraping down to the bare essentials, which isn't good. Scraping down to the bare minimum, I mean, not the bare essentials. Yep, nothing else in the apartment of note. So we're going to head... No, Henry, don't look at that. We're going to head back. And we're going to try to get rid of these dogs, or at least get Eileen out of this area. So yeah, there she is. She's just been standing here, and she's still not helping me. And Henry, again, insists on targeting the wrong enemy. Okay, that should be enough. Yeah, Eileen's in here now. But of course, Eileen can't go down the ladder with me, but she's at least safe in that room.
I can't use a ladder with my arm like this.
Okay, so yeah, we're in this really creepy pulsating area. What I want to do, just to make my life a bit easier, and it's something that I should have done before, is go in here and just not only grab these items, but we can unlock this door from the other side. So now we don't have to go through the subway cars in the middle, which is hugely helpful. Because, yeah, I really hate this. Okay. So now we don't have Eileen following us. We can just sort of speed through again. We don't have to worry quite so much about the fighting. Just going to try and, squeeze past the ghost. So yeah, the chip damage that the ghosts do is really annoying. And it's what spells some bad decisions having to be made with health items. Okay, so I'm pretty sure Cynthia Ghost is in here somewhere. But what we're going to do is just stream past them. And just keep going. I'm going to want to save here because I'm going to have to go up the escalator of doom again. So I just want to save just so I don't lose some of that progress. Okay. So it could be worse. Could be much worse. Okay. So here we are again. We're just going to try get back up to that escalator. So, as you're probably already aware, I hate this area because there's the wall men, and the wall men are all still here. So I'm going to get the gun out again just to save. So since I've saved so many bullets. He doesn't have convincing aim, but he's got good enough aim here. Fortunately, less wallmen, maybe less in this bit, because maybe the developers knew that everyone playing their game would hate it. Cool. Get rid of him. Got me. Ooh, that was good. I'm not very good at dodging in this game, but that was a dodge that you can pull off. I just happen to be terrible at it, especially on the keyboard again. Okay, so we got a crime scene key, but I think there's a healing item in here which I'm going to get. I just have to get this dog. At least I would be able to get it. Here we go. Again, just like to make sure these things are dead because they're quite frustrating, as I'm sure you've already figured out just from watching. Okay. Back to some decent level of health. Fairly burdened with items, but that's okay. It's good that we got the candle. candle is something that we're just gonna, any candle you find, you're gonna want to take it, even if it requires another trip back to the room. So here's the crime scene, but now we have the key, and there's going to be something useful in here. So it's the train handle, which we're going to need because we're going to pilot a subway car out of here. Unfortunately, I have to. Yep, I have to go back down through the escalator, I think, which isn't exactly what I want to do. So I'll just reload here and just get ready to go back down. You can sort of see it's a bit, and the camera angle here is shocking. It's going to be really hard to see where any of our wallmen friends are. And yep, already wasted. So what's that? 30 something bullets? 38? No, 28 bullets. So that's a lot of bullets wasted, but I'm hoping I still have plenty of bullets saved in my chest at home, so if I need them later, I can go for them. This is just a particularly egregious section, as I'm sure you'll agree. Yep, look at that. So, and now we're back to pain. Okay. It's just not not well designed. Hoping, yeah, with the invulnerability frames that we get from the axe as well, I'm hoping I can just sort of cheese my way through this bit. So yeah, just leave them. I'll just charge it up again. And again, this should be a section, like the imagery is surreal and creepy, and it should be a section that's really quite frightening, but it's just not. Okay. So we'll leave him. The problem is now we have to get Eileen into this car here, which is where also Cynthia is. So we're going to run back, and we need to figure out a way to get Eileen down there, which I think unfortunately means we might have to do the escalator one more time, except this time with Eileen, so that's even more fun. I swear this game just knows that I hate that bit and does not care. Okay, so we're back. I think there's one dog still left out there. Yeah, I'll risk it. That's probably why I'm not a gambling man. So yeah, those invincibility frames really are just a godsend. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Cynthia is probably going to ambush us here, but it's not anything. And a big part of the reason I don't think anyone in video games particularly likes backtracking. And this is the whole second half of this game is basically just backtracking, and it's a huge issue. Oh, thank goodness, there's some health up here. So we'll grab that. Yeah, it really is just super frustrating to have to backtrack through all the levels that you've already done, especially when you're having to escort Eileen, who I like as a character, but is kind of just useless as an AI partner, unfortunately. It's a shame, because it could have been a bit more done with Eileen, just a bit more polishing, just to make these sequences not quite so terrible. So now, candle, that's good. Again, gonna need those. Eileen providing some important commentary there, just in case Henry hadn't already figured it out. I can't remember. It might be that since Cynthia has spawned in the last subway car that we need to get to, that she doesn't appear in here, but again, I may also be wrong. I think that's just me being wrong there. Yep. Camera angles make it so hard to tell where you need to go and what you need to do. And there's no difference between the doors that you can open and the doors that you can't. And it's particularly bad in this section, simply because it's all just straight subway cars covered in the same gunk with the same enemies. It'd be great if I could pin her down this time, but I think I might need the... there's another item, the spirit medallion that the note was talking about before. So there's Eileen insisting that she can fight the ghost by herself. So just gotta knock it down again. So obviously heavily inspired by the ring. Cynthia's ghost is. And they use Cynthia's ghost in a lot of promotional material around the game, I think, because she really is one of the creepier ghosts that you encounter. Okay. Yep, see? She's got this really obnoxious, just sort of auto-targeting almost. And once again, I went the wrong way. This area is filled with just all these dead ends. And no matter how many times I play this, I will always run into those dead ends. It is a guarantee. The day when I speedrun this is going to be such a bad time. Alright, let's go back up here. Actually, oops, sorry, Eileen. I think I'll just run to the end here and just double check something. Yep, okay, that is shut. There she is again. There's just no nice way to navigate this area. It's just an obnoxious area. We'll take Eileen back to the bathroom and go back through the save point and just dump a few of these items. And what I'm hoping is that I haven't missed the coin that I need, but I have a bad feeling that I have. But if I have, I've made it slightly easier for myself. And that I've already taken Eileen back, so that's okay. Alright. Just get rid of all those. Head back, save again, and drop off these candles, maybe even use one if the apartment is once again haunted. So I really like, it's such a good horror idea, just the breaking down of these, the place that you thought was safe for the whole game. It's just great horror design. The place that you have to keep coming back to suddenly becomes sort of the instrument of the enemy. Is there anything else I need to drop? Anything else I need to pick up? This is where the game starts to get a bit more. Oh yeah, look at that, 72 bullets. I think I'll be fine for those. So I'll reload that there. Okay. So the bad news is, I think I might, if I'm remembering correctly, I might have to go back up the escalator, but I'll just have to do some checking first. But for that checking, I can leave. I should be able to leave Eileen in the bathroom, where she should be fine. I'll just try not to be too long, because bad things happen otherwise. So we'll just have a run around, check all the areas I haven't yet checked. So yeah, you can stay in there, Eileen, this time. She is, yep, okay, cool. So she's staying in there. And we'll just start to check. So once again, yeah, the map is not exactly inspiring, but I think there might be an area or two that I have yet to check, so I should go and check those. Just make sure I haven't missed either the coins that I need to open this gate, or just healing items or bullets in general. because as you've probably seen, yeah, the game has become a lot harder. You can really easily breeze through those first sections, partly because you don't have to escort Eileen, and just because there's not quite so many ghosts. And I think another problem with the ghosts is that while you're playing, there's no chance to sort of breathe and explore the environments because the ghosts are just so relentless. They never leave you alone if they're in an area, and you can't knock them down as you've seen. Like I've tried time and time again, but they just don't like staying down. They don't stay down for nearly long enough, and it becomes really hard to sort of become invested, I guess, in an area when all you're doing is hurtling through it, trying to avoid all the ghosts. So I don't think there's anything in here this time around, is there? No. Okay. Nothing else left in here. Nothing else left in here either. Okay. Alright. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna try and eliminate Cynthia's ghost, so I do not have to deal with her anymore. So when you pin a ghost, they don't reappear in any future levels where they're scripted to reappear, which is a really cool feature. But of course, there's only a limited number of swords, so you really want to know which ghosts suck the most and get rid of them. What am I doing? Take that back, and we're going to equip a little spirit medallion, and that's going to help us a lot. So yeah, apologies about all the saving this time. I'm just very aware that I'm in a bad spot in my least favorite area, so I just don't want to lose any more progress than is necessary. Okay, let's try and get rid of Cynthia. Sorry, Cynthia. Okay. All right. And you notice that there's this sort of new entity. I think he might have shown up in one or two areas, but yeah, we can probably infer that this is sort of symbolically meant to be this umbilical cord that our serial killer seems to have a bit of a motif for. It's a lot of umbilical cord and birthing imagery, like when the ghosts come out of the walls, that sort of thing. Okay, this might not go the way I wanted it to, but if I die, that's okay. And you'll notice, yeah, you'll see that she's got this creepy move. Hoping I can pin her, except she's running away. Yeah, so all three ghosts are in here. That's not great. I was hoping to pin her, but not the end of the world. So once again, that's not the most exciting footage, but we're going to have to go back up here because I stuffed up. So, except this time should be able to use the axe strategy instead of the bullets. So while it does make the game a bit easier, it sort of takes you out of it, or it takes me out of it a little bit, knowing that, you know, the survival horror character's got this, you know, charge up super move, and it sort of takes away from the atmosphere a bit. Probably so does his slightly goofy stance as he's walking up this escalator. But that was close. So who knows? Maybe one day I'll get good at this section. And it's got really good spacing, really good distance. That attack, it really is the most invaluable weapon in the game, the axe. If you miss the axe, I'm really not sure what you'd do. Okay, fingers crossed that this time, this is actually where I need to go, because it has been a little while. Yeah, Cynthia's commuter ticket. That's what I was supposed to pick up. So now we don't have to use the coin anymore. we can use the ticket. Somehow I missed that. But now all we have to do is grab Eileen from the bathroom, and then just make sure, nothing else in this crime scene. So grab Eileen, and we'll get a move on back down this escalator. Cool. Henry is like a lot of survival horror protagonists. Henry needs to be in a specific place to use a specific item. I guess it's a lot like 90s adventure game, pixel hunting and so forth, except not quite as bad as that. Because I don't think there's any worse trope than this pixel hunting. Alright. There's really cool just ambient sounds like that, like a little clunk of wood falling, and it just sort of sets you on edge a bit. Sort of like, oh, what was that? Something new coming for me, and that's really important. Oops. Other side. Okay. All right. Now comes the true test. We have to get Eileen safely down the escalator, and then through the ghosts. But the ghosts themselves should be okay. I'm a bit disappointed I haven't been able to take down Cynthia, but we can always save that for a later level. And that's not fair. Oh. Okay, cool. Gonna have to let our attack loose because Henry's facing the wrong way. So you really want to avoid any damage being done to Eileen, because it makes the final boss harder. She can't actually die, which does alleviate some of the problems of an escort quest. It alleviates some of the problems of an escort quest. Words got lost there for a second. But at the same time, she's just obviously you still want to keep her safe. You don't want her to take as much any damage at all if you can help it. And you'll see that even at walking pace, and I don't blame her for being slow considering her injuries. But you just kind of wish that the developers had made her move a little bit faster. So it's the sort of the themes clashing against the gameplay, which is really something that you don't want to happen if you can avoid it. The themes make the game less fun, which in most instances is good. It's fine. But in this instance, it's just, for me anyway, it sort of toes the line a bit, especially in situations like this. Okay. So we really need Eileen to follow us here. I really hope she is. Let's get the 9-iron. I'm not sure what Eileen is doing. She needs to hurry up. Yeah, that's a bad sign. Okay. So now we're gonna get Eileen to move again. Now we can debark the train. Okay. So that was not the best run of that area I've done before. That wasn't very good, but that's okay. So this is the introduction to a new enemy, the serial killer himself, who we just want to avoid. There's no point even trying to fight him because he has way too much health and he does way too much damage. So at every opportunity, we're going to try and move past him. And basically, if you weren't able to catch the last stream, the reason that we're traveling downwards, we're trying to get to the ultimate truth, and we're sort of going through these areas that are a lot like other Silent Hill titles. They're foggy. They got all this weird, impossible architecture. There's a lot of blood and there's a lot of just bad feelings. The sort of like the sound is sort of like the area is breathing. Like it's alive. So we're going to go back again to the apartment, and we can drop off the tickets and the coins, and then we'll probably have a haunting to confront. I'm hoping it's not a bad one. But interestingly, I think I said this yesterday as well, but the hauntings on PC, there are less hauntings on PC than there are on PlayStation 2. And it's just because for some reason they're not included as sort of encounterable in the code, even though they exist. They still exist on the PC in the game files, but the executable just doesn't have code to run them, and that is admittedly pretty weird, because they're some of the best hauntings actually on only available on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. So there's no haunting this time, and so as we're going back down, we are going to run into more and more of these hauntings, but on PC they're a bit more repetitive than they are in PlayStation 2, simply because there's a smaller library to choose from, and the ones that are here, while still pretty unsettling, just aren't quite as scary. So I'm not saying that they're bad on PC. They're just not the best ones, which is a big shame. So we'll go back into the hole and travel into the next world. And I also want to get this world done with pretty quick if I can, because it isn't the best. It's not the best world either. So we're going back into Forest World, and this time we're going to be pursued by the serial killer. And he, as I said before, he's pretty relentless. He does a lot of damage, and he just kind of sucks to deal with. So we're gonna just run as fast as we can. I'm afraid I'm gonna get the bad ending with all this damage Eileen has already taken. But we're just gonna make a run for it. So what we're gonna want to do immediately: grab this torch, take the torch. Grab it. This is basically going to be all we're carrying around here. Light the torch up. So yep, if you hear that door open again, that's our friend, and he's got a chainsaw and a gun. So we're just going to run away from him because he's a pain. He's just a pain to deal with. How close is Eileen? Not close enough. Yep. So you'll see. Yep. Come on, Eileen. Okay. Not good. And you can hear the serial killer following us, and I might die here. I might die if I can't get back. Yep, it's me. Damn, killed by a dog. That's embarrassing. And you can see him there in the corner. Alright, let's try that again. So we know what to do. We just got unlucky with Eileen not following us through there and me getting bit one extra time. I might actually, I think I'll unequip Eileen's weapon because it does make her more aggressive, and I don't really want her attacking anything in this area. So I hope you can see that, the game is scary. I mean, the first encounter with the serial killer, the sound of the door opening again behind you is a really, really good visual cue. But escorting Eileen just becomes a bit more frustrating than it needs to be. So he's going to try and shoot one of us, and that is a lot of damage. So I'm hoping this time, actually, I'll try not to aggro the dogs. Alright, and that didn't work. Why did that not work? But at least Eileen followed us this time. Doesn't matter about this one, just run. Okay, so I don't think you can follow us in here. And you remember from last time that Jasper died in here because he burned alive. And basically, this is exactly just what's left of the orphanage. And we're going to try and reconstruct this wheelchair doll here. There's another candle. What I'm really after is another healing item. But we might not be able to find one of those for a little while. So this will be a note telling us to reconstruct the doll. Yeah, Jasper. Feel something from the well. Something's missing. So it's basically just telling us to look in the wells. We don't have time to waste on clues. We don't know what we're doing. So we'll run back. Escort Eileen again. Okay. And yep, there's another haunting here. So we can just immediately use this candle against it. And yep, you'll see it, sort of the haunting fade away. There's weird sort of cracks in the wall. And you'll notice as well, so the haunting is completely gone, but the cracks are still there. So that could be considered kind of unsettling. Okay, what we're going to do now is, save it. And we're going to do something else as well that makes well searching a bit easier. How much health do I? Not much, do I? Yeah, I really did waste a lot in the subway, which is not great. So we've got this ampule left, which we could use. So I'll take it with me. But I might not use it just yet. My theory is that Walter never died at the prison. It may have been someone else who committed suicide. Either that or the person the police arrested was not the real Walter Sullivan. I'm in no position to investigate what really happened at the prison, but in any case, Walter didn't die at the prison. The man with the coat that showed up here was the real Walter. 7 years ago, he did something in that apartment. I'm certain there's a link between that and the bizarre things that have been happening here. Just a little bit more and I'll have this whole thing figured out. I may even find that the real Walter is somewhere nearby. Okay. So we're going to move back into Forest World. Oh, whoops. Didn't need to do that actually. There was something else I meant to do before that. So the thing that makes our job easier. So we'll run back through. Still trying to find the balance between focusing my brain on what I actually need to do in this game and providing interesting commentary. Hope some of it's interesting anyway. So we've got the torch in oil now, and that's immediately going to help us because it's going to burn for longer. Now, go back this time. Cool. Okay, so we got the torch again. Now we're going to need to go into all of the wells and have a look. But there's also something else we're going to want to do. There's a little cutscene, I think, that we can watch if we come up this way. Okay. And yep, we got our friends here. Got the axe again. Takes care of them in one hit. I'll give Eileen back a weapon for now.
Could this be Silent Hill? Wait.
I don't know, Eileen. Could it be Silent Hill Woods? No, that was a bad idea, Eileen. I shouldn't have given her back the weapon. Okay. Taking him down. Is this area clear? Theoretically. Health drink. That's going to be better for us to take. And the ampule. Such great atmosphere. Okay, so yep, here we are on the shores of Toluca Lake, indeed, in Silent Hill. So there's weird writing. So if you remember that weird writing from the first time, Eileen, I think if you interact with it for long enough, Possibly Eileen can read it, but she might not want to right now. Maybe we'll chat. We'll chat to this. We'll do this cutscene.
Are you Walter Sullivan?
That's what everybody calls me, but I don't really have a name or a home either.
Well, what about a mom or dad?
Yeah, but I never met them. They left South Ashfield Heights right after I was born. But soon I'll get to see my mom.
Do you know where she is now?
Yeah, of course. Right where I was born. Lots of people tried to stop me, but it's fine now. It says in the scriptures that I'll be with her. I gotta hurry. Mom's waiting.
So his mother is supposed to be at the apartment where he was born. And we'll take this medallion. Okay. Might be a few other things around here. So there's a hole. I'll just make sure there aren't any other items of use.
I can read this writing.
And here we go.
It looks like some kind of a diary. Here goes. February 10th. I went to visit Ashfield again. Again, something, mommy. Some of it's blurred and I can't read past there.
So it's the scribblings of a young Walter.
Here goes. October 28th. I have to take a train or something to get to Ashfield. Everyone says Ashfield is a scary place, but I really want to see my mommy.
So again, I'm just going to run back to the apartment really quick. Okay. I'm going to need to grab and deposit a few things. So we can dump the ampule again. We don't need both swords. I think everything else we'll need. And we'll just save here. Okay. Alright, so now what we need to do is basically look in all of the wells with a lit torch while protecting Eileen. And I'm hoping just to be as quick about this as possible and avoid any additional confrontation with any of the enemies that we just don't have to do. But that may be difficult. So yeah, this area's we got ghosts. Can pick up a pickaxe. The Pickaxe of Despair. So that's got a really good charge up attack. Oh, there was a health drink there, but that's okay. Kind of not in a position to grab it right now. And there's about, 50 ghosts in here. Eileen, once again, does not follow us because she's probably just slightly off the mark there. Okay, cool. So we'll keep going. And there's one well here. Except we can't hold anymore. That's great. I'll use that. Grab the right leg. Stick that on the thing. This is probably the most useless puzzle in the game. You'll see why in a minute. But it's it really feels more than a lot of the other puzzles. It feels like it's just there to sort of pad out time a bit. So we've been this way and we've been this way, so we're going to need to go. We'll go the shorter way first and just double check the well this way, which there should be. I'm hoping that I can just get Eileen through here as quick as possible. And with because we dumped because we soaked the torch in oil, it's going to go for I think it's 5 minutes, which is more than enough time every time. Oh, and there's the serial killer Walter himself, and he is really, really frustrating as an enemy. Fortunately, he's not quick at shooting, but that takes off a lot of health, and health we can't really afford to lose at this point in the game. So here's the left leg, run that back, light the torch, and we just have to shuffle our way all the way back. And basically, Eileen since Eileen is able to read out all of the notes, I'd love for her to be able to do that, but she's not the quickest reader, and I'm worried that the ghost will spawn in one of those areas and attack her, which I can't really afford at the moment. We need Eileen to keep moving. And just like with the ghosts, Walter can move from cell to cell. So just moving between rooms, unless it's a specific area like this one that's safe, it's not going to help us. So I'm going to need to pop back once again to the room and just dump a few things. So we don't need the pickaxe anymore, and we don't need those revolver bullets right now. Though they will come in handy, come very much in handy in the next world, which has probably some of the hardest combat encounters in the game. Certainly one of the deadliest ghost encounters in the game. Okay, so we'll dump these things again. And the big problem, the inventory management, he just can't carry quite enough at one time. Or he can't. It's really is the fact that he can't stack items that sort of gets to me. So you can't stack the candles, you can't stack the medallions, you can't stack the bullets. It becomes a bit of a chore. But let's go back and do this one other area. Hopefully get the last 2 bits of the doll without Eileen or myself taking too much damage. So it really does come down to that a bit, just how much damage both of us are taking at this stage in the game. Oops, wrong way. To go the long way, so we're going to have to travel all the way back up. I'm hoping I can be quick about it as well. We'll just leave them there, because with Eileen still safely in that central room, it should be okay. There's a well there, we'll need to come back for that, which is why I freed up a couple of extra inventory spaces. And we're going to see the ghost, another ghost here, one of the powerful ghosts, but fortunately he's not too tricky to avoid. We don't want to spend any more time around him than is necessary. So that's the ghost of Jasper, of course. Sounds like he's really having a lot of chocolate milk there. And obviously the fire symbolism, because that's exactly how he died. So we need to run all the way to the top of this area. just avoiding all of these enemies and moving as quickly as we can because we've left Eileen alone. We don't want to do that for too long. So once again, just ghosts everywhere. I'll grab this health drink, I think. There's Jasper again. And yeah, here are these, the worm-like creatures that don't actually attack you, but they sort of reoccur in these levels, just as these quite creepy, again, this sort of umbilical cord imagery, which is something that was, again, used a bit in PT. So Silent Hill 4 was a bit of an inspiration on that stuff. How much space do I have left? Not enough space to grab that candle. Maybe I'll quickly scull the drink. Run around him and grab the candle. And run back down and grab that other thing, because the candle is really important for just making the apartment safe again. And there's another health drink behind there too. So we'll see if we have to leave any of those behind. We probably will. Simply because there's so many enemies and it's not really worth coming back up and down here and just risking a lot of health for a little bit in return. I'm hoping we won't need them. So that's another gamble I've made. Still got the ampoule, and I think we still have maybe one other thing. But the important thing is to just get out of this world, because there's so many ghosts. And yeah, if we hadn't put the gas on the torch, we'd be in a lot more trouble. So there's a spirit medallion there, which I may come back for because they are pretty useful. But we do need to just get this doll finished to free up those inventory slots. Grab the left arm. I think that's all of the pieces. I think we got the legs, the head, and the arms. And the ghost once again is following us. Okay, here's Eileen. So she should be fine. Since we've left her in the safe area without any enemies in it. And you'll just see just how useless this puzzle really was. So we finished the doll. So I go, what's going to happen? Oh, creepy. And you might think, this is he's going to become an enemy. But he wheels himself backwards off of a gap, and we just have to go down. So basically, instead of doing all that, Henry could have, if he was intelligent, just tried to move the doll. But I guess he's a completionist. He really likes to get everything done. See all the sights. Check out all the wells. So he's found some kind of Bible. The Descent of the Holy Mother, the 21 Sacraments. So this is what the story has sort of been building to. The first sign, and God said, at the time of fullness, cleanse the world with my rage. Gather forth the white oil, the black cup, and the blood of the 10 sinners. Prepare for the ritual of the Holy Assumption. The second sign, and God said, offer the blood of the 10 sinners in the white oil. Be then released from the bonds of the flesh and gain the power of heaven. From the darkness and void, bring forth gloom, and gird thyself with despair for the giver of wisdom. Giver of wisdom, very important. Third sign, and God said, return to the source through sin's temptation. Under the watchful eye of the demon, wander alone in the formless chaos. Only then will the 4 atonements be in alignment. And the last sign, as God said, separate from the flesh too, she who is the mother reborn, and he who is the receiver of wisdom. Receiver of wisdom, also very important. If this be done by the mystery of the 21 sacraments, the mother shall be reborn, and the nation of sin shall be redeemed. So this is what Walter is working towards, this 21 sacraments.
I'm sure that somewhere in these woods is an orphanage called Wish House.
And yes, so Eileen's pointing out that there is an orphanage called Wish House that we are in the basement of right now. So maybe she didn't notice. That's okay. And then we need to put this in here. That's why we had to go up there and see little Walter. And so that's Forest World 2 finished, so we never have to return to Forest World again. I don't really plan on doing so. I know that there's a Spirit Medallion and a couple of health things in there. You can still run all the way back up to, I think Hospital World is the top layer. But again, that's going to take ages. So I'm hoping I don't have to go back for any of that, but I can always go back for it if I need to. So we'll save here. Okay. So do I have? There's no further hauntings. I'll pop this candle as well in here. So we must have a few candles in here by now, and we don't need the torch again. So we're back down to a sort of old faithful, basically. Oh no, you might have heard that. That was a haunting. Okay, see if we can find it. This is actually a pretty creepy one. So the fridge itself is haunted. I'm going to try and open it. And there is some mysterious lump of flesh making cat noises. So we're just going to close the fridge. I don't really want to think about that. So we're going to get the candle back out again. So again, you really can see where PT got a lot of its inspiration. So Silent Hill 4 really was just this game that needed more polish than it got. Unfortunately, it had so many good ideas, so many scary ideas, but either the technology just wasn't ready for them, or they just needed more time and more thought put into it. And you'll see now, perfectly good fridge, except there's nothing in it, but perfectly good fridge. Okay. The other thing, actually, I will grab while I'm here, and we're going to need a revolver. So that's the other gun that we have. And we're going to need that because we're going to come up against a pretty dangerous enemy, the ghost of Andrew DeSalvo. And he is going to be... I'm really hoping he's not, but some playthroughs, he's been a huge pain. But I'm hoping I can just knock him out really quick, pin him, because he's the only ghost in the game, actually, that you have to pin. So he's basically one of the few enemies in the game you have to fight. So we'll go in here again, and we're going to enter Water Prison World 2.0, which is still as atmospheric and as great as Water Prison World 1.0. Just except this time there's no valve turning puzzles. Just quite a few enemies we have to get through. But we'll try and do exploring through there, and also try and avoid Walter. And you'll see, yeah, there's some pretty disturbing imagery here.
What is this place?
Yeah, agreed, Eileen. Yeah, I'm not like that. That never is explained. That's never expanded upon. You can't comment on it. It's just there, and it's just creepy, and that's what I love about these games. Just wait for Eileen to get close enough, because All right, so here we are in this very weird space, and once again, Silent Hill is going to play with space and our sort of conceptions of reality in a big way. We're going to go on this elevator. And this is really cool. I thought this was really cool when I first played it. So we've come from an elevator in the sky into the top of the water prison. And that's really, really cool and really, really interesting. Now we're going to open this door and we're going to get an immediate surprise. Fortunately, we knew he was coming. So the reason now that we can't go down these ladders, the reason why this staircase is in place is because Eileen cannot use ladders. So we're just going to have to run all the way down because Walter is now pursuing us. I'm sure you could hear the door open. I'm just going to really quickly try and bypass these enemies. Probably fighting them isn't a good idea. We just got to get a head start on Walter. Doesn't matter if these guys clip us a bit. We'll try and do our best. Because Walter does way too much damage. Yeah. Sorry about that, Eileen. What I want to do is get Eileen to the bottom, where she'll be theoretically safe from the enemies, and I can just climb back up the ladders and really quickly sort of scan those rooms. But yep, there's Walter. He's very calm, and that was something that the developers really wanted to make sure that they got. I'm pretty sure from the head of art on this team, I wanted to make sure that Walter was serene and sort of had this really dissonant quality about him. And he's shooting at Eileen, which is not good. Yep, you can see him up there, but Eileen is getting attacked by the bugs. Okay, we're going to unequip Eileen's weapon because she's... Yeah, we need you to run, Eileen. Her AI is bugging out. And we can hear Walter coming now, so hopefully Eileen, without a weapon, does not insist on stopping to fight. So you sort of get what I mean.
Don't leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. She's just a really inconsistent AI partner, which is, again, a shame because I really like her character. The really tragic... She's got a really tragic role in the story. And I sort of wish that you were able to play as her instead of Henry, because Henry really is not very exciting. You see Henry's a bit tired. And we got that cool sort of multi-layered, multi-step animation. Okay. We're just going to leave... Okay. Hoping it's safe to leave her in here. I can't quite remember. We're just going to leave her in that room. Or we're not. She's going to follow us. That's okay. I think this area should be safer anyway. There's a lot of healing items, so we're going to have to do some trips back to the room to drop this stuff off. But again, what I really love about this area is that it's circular. So there's no... You always have your back. Your back is always exposed. And you can never quite know what is around the next corner. So it's just really, really effective visual horror design. Because there's no place that you can back yourself into and be safe. You could always be backing yourself towards another enemy. Candle. So this is going to be really helpful. Because again, some frustrating enemies. And we got one of these characters here. There's a long and very annoying reach. But we got that off. Should just be able to finish them off like that. We'll give Eileen back a weapon. And it is slightly annoying how when you've asked Eileen to equip a weapon, it still takes up a slot in your inventory. Which again, I think is something I mentioned last time. But it's not super helpful. That's not... Those bugs, that's not what I wanted to happen. But you can hear Eileen is actually doing some damage over there. Cool, so we'll get rid of these guys. Cool, so Eileen killed one of those bugs for me. Some more bullets, I think that'll put us up to 82, which I'm hoping is enough. Should be, I'm surprised if it wasn't. Check this one as well. Anything in here? Yep, more bullets, so we'll come back for those ones. Did it do it again? Am I down again? That's a pain. That is a pain. Just lost the stream again. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen this time. So many technical difficulties, making this a lot harder than it needs to be. We'll see. It says, yeah, it says I'm still going, but there was a hitch on my manager, so maybe I'm not. Really frustrating. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. I need to do some more research into that actually. Before the next stream. I recognize it's not the best experience, just be booted out like that. Just try and kite Eileen around, but she's a bit too insistent or something. Okay.
It's so damp and gross here.
Damn. Okay. So the door is locked from the other side, so we do need a key from somewhere else in the prison. Unfortunately, yeah, Eileen is just sticking to us like glue here. We'll try and just run around here, because I don't want to take her with me back out to get killed by Walter. Okay. So go back out here and just move as quickly as possible, clear out these upper floors. Oh, and he got me in the back. Okay. Yeah, hopefully I can sort out some of these technical problems. I have no idea why it sort of randomly seems to once a stream just to randomly drop the stream, which I understand is not the best experience as a viewer, and I'm hoping to fix that. So there's about 1,000 of these guys in here. Which is not helpful. So again, I'll try and upload the VOD, but I'd like just once to be able to upload the VOD in one complete whole rather than having to render the video together. But apparently that's not going to be happening again today either. Okay, yep. That's not good. That's not good. So yeah, and yet another guy in here. So you can tell that the developers really like this enemy, and I really like this enemy as well. But there's just so many of them. So I'll get the candle. I'm really hoping I don't die in here. So, they're probably coming around from the other way. Okay. What rooms? Yeah, so all the rooms are locked, I think, so we can just leave from here. Fortunately, almost dead. And this upper floor probably will finish me off, but we'll see. See if there's anyone in here. Certainly nothing of interest in there. And of course, okay. Just gonna want him to come back over here. I really like, yeah, the different movement speeds they have. And it gives them each this sort of threatening. But there's just so many of them, and they have such a long reach, and they can move really fast, which makes them really quite annoying sometimes. Yep, like that. Oh, one more hit and I'm down. I'm done. Oh. Ah, damn bullets. That's not what I was after. Might be time to leave. Go down. down again. I'm going to go back and we're going to drink those health drinks now. Okay. So I'd actually forgotten there were quite so many of those. Hey, how you doing? I'd forgotten there were so many of those victims. They're called twin victims, those monsters. Oh, straight up to a haunting. Yep, that's a bad haunting. So we're gonna want to get rid of that really quick. We just need to dump these bullets again, and really quickly grab out some health and drink both of those health drinks because I really do need them. And you'll see that it's just like the first scene in the game. Victim 1 is trying to escape into the apartment, so we really can't let that happen. So we're going to use the candle to dispel him. And hopefully that's worked and it's in the right spot. And yeah, he's going to sink back into the wall. So away he goes. Thanks for visiting. We're going to save. And we'll try and finish this world before we finish the stream. So, hopefully barring any technical malfunctions again anyway. He had like two already this stream, so I really need to do something about those. Figure out what's causing them. But yep, we're going to run back up to the second floor. Oh, that's that's fun. How did... What? Yeah, don't let me distract you, like... And there goes all my health. That sounds brutal. I hope it's not a tough assignment. So yeah, that wasn't what I wanted to happen at all. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, I think maybe I might actually... They did way too much damage to me. I'm going to reload that. I'm really not happy with that. Because I can't afford to lose much more health than I already have. Sort of skating on thin ice as it is already. Okay, so yeah, we're back in here. We'll just replay that section, which wasn't really much of a section at all. The problem is we need to find the key, and admittedly, a little foggy on where that is exactly. Is it? It's not in this. I know actually. I have to jump down through those holes. So. Yeah, Eileen is really oddly insistent on following me in this area where I don't want her to follow me. Yep, how did she do that? How did you do that? Back in here. I'm gonna have to do the whole run around thing again. See, this floor was actually doable because I just had one of those enemies. No, two. But the other floor's got like 4. Okay, I'm gonna need to try and make my way back up to the hole and jump back down through them. You can hear Walter moving around on the staircase. Just got to move it around to we're at this one, I think. So they're doing their rugby rugby tackles. Yep, and we'll jump all the way down through to the bottom. Just like we did the first time. So I think the first time I played this, if you're playing it through and exploring all the floors, you probably leave Eileen in the top hole there, and she'd be fine there too. But I think it's slightly easier to leave her elsewhere. So check in here, and yep, something written on it in wax. This shirt here, and we're gonna need to go home, and we're gonna need to wash the shirt, which is such a good puzzle, you know, encouraging you to do your laundry. Okay, take the medallion and take the drink and have the drink immediately. Unlock that. Is there anything? I don't think there's anything in the shower room, is there? Some bullets, but no. Bullets non-essential at this point because I have about 100 of them. So I'll just check up here as well. See, I can't remember if the game spawns any new items in this section. But again, we might as well check. Just because we need all the healing items and ghost repellent that we can get. So we got the nightstick. So I think this is the best Eileen weapon. Maybe there's a weapon slide. I can't remember if the chain or the nightstick is better, but I think it's the nightstick. So we can give that to her instead of the riding crop. And yeah, those guys, they're just annoying because you can't see where they are. You can hear some bad and nasty sounds. Times like this where you wish Henry could just hug the wall and avoid those things. Okay. So yeah, we need to go back home and wash this shirt. I think we have to wash it in the bath. And we're back down here in the waterworks room, which is, we were in here like I think for about 10 seconds earlier in the playthrough. And there were a couple. There was one thing I regret not showing on stream, but that's okay. It's just, yeah, again, Silent Hill playing with perspective and space in a really cool way, but it's not the end of the world. We'll sort of see what it does anyway in a bit. Once again, yeah, where is he? Yeah, we got the ghost again, second time in a row. That's a bit unlucky. Did I bring back a candle that time? No. Brought a medallion, but not a candle. Brought 2 medallions actually. So we still got 2 candles left, so that's okay, and there'll be more candles to come. Right, can't, because she's still got that equipped. Yep, can't equip it when we're all the way over here. Let's put that down again. Just wait for that to finish. Yeah, I quite like he's sort of coming out of it in a very sort of organic and creepy way, for the sort of the slime dripping off of him again. Sort of this birthing imagery, like the walls themselves, the apartment itself, is birthing these ghosts as this alive sort of entity. Okay, I think we take it to the bath. Yep. So we've got some lettering now. My room is on the 2nd floor, and I had to drink something with black things in it. I had the sword with the triangle handle under my bed. That guy, the fat one, took the basement key. Next time I'll stick this triangle sword into that pig and take the key. So they're talking about Andrew DeSalvo. and we are going to have to confront him and fight him. So we need to look on the second floor for that sword, because that'll give us 3 swords, and that'll be helpful. Okay. Saving again, and then I think after I finish, hopefully I can finish Water Prison within sort of 20 minutes, and then I'll be done for the stream. Yeah, I guess that'll have to do. Don't really have anything else up my sleeve, so. And yeah, you can see again the creepy big worm thing. That's kind of reminiscent. There's an enemy in Silent Hill 3 that looks a bit like that as well. But they both, while they look similar, they're both meant to symbolize sort of different, very, very different things. So, plot our way back up the stairs. And yep, so now we're going to encounter Andrew DeSalvo, and he's pretty annoying and pretty creepy. So I really like the distorted imagery, very noisy, grainy imagery that they use for these enemy introduction sequences. Alrighty, and this ambience actually is used in Silent Hill 2, just slightly changed in pitch, I think. So we're going to want to do, yep. I think we'll wait to run into him first, but the revolver, we're going to use that against him just straight away. He's got a lot of health and he does a lot of damage. He's got this really annoying barrel roll move, which kind of looks ridiculous. But I'm hoping we won't even have to encounter it. So he's just up ahead, obviously. There he is. And the revolver is the most dangerous gun in the game because there's only 2 of them. So Richard's revolver is going to come in handy against him. Yep, there's a stupid barrel roll move. Come on, come on. So these things are really annoying. And look at that. That's how much chip damage he does. So we're going to grab that health immediately. Yep, he's just so much damage. Just going to try and shoot him now that I can actually see him. Reload real quick. Reload like it has a clip. Not sure what kind of revolver does that, but... Shoot. Missed one. So you can see why the ghosts really are just so annoying. He does way too much damage. And fighting him in this corridor, so annoying. Did I get him? No, of course not. See how much health he has? Yep. Just like that. Didn't even have to do anything to me. I'll have one more go. I'll have one more go at fighting him. If I can't beat him this time, I think I'll just end it. But see, there is a thing that possibly I missed elsewhere in the water prison that's really good against him, which is a silver bullet, which is meant to be a one-hit kill. But I did unfortunately possibly miss it. I might travel back if I have more. I'll put my Saint Medallion on as well, which I think might be part of the problem. I should be wearing that too. Did not come prepared. Can't believe I've already died as many times as I died in my whole first playthrough. So I'm doing worse, basically, than my first playthrough. In my first playthrough, I only died in the final boss section, I think, twice. And then, well, my first completed playthrough, I only died twice in the boss, and the other one, in my other first playthrough, I died in the escalator section and was like, screw this sucks. But fortunately got past that. So we're going to take more revolver bullets. Just might as well use them all against him. And we're going to take both of those. And yeah, we'll try to use all of that against him. Hoping this works. If it doesn't work, hey, you know what? Not the end of the world. Try again next time. But he is a frustrating boss simply because you can't really see where he is. I'm hoping maybe this time I can fight him slightly better. Go up the ladder instead. Skip this time, don't need to watch him again. Sing his annoying song. We'll climb straight up here. Here he is. So that should suppress some of his ghost powers. But yeah, these things, surprising pain. You can see the in my inventory, the medallion is pulsating, indicating that it is working against him. He's very hard to keep track of, especially with this awful camera angle. Yeah, normally I'm a fan of these sort of disembodied camera angles, but not when it actually gets in the way of you completing what is actually a difficult gameplay section. Just tank these, I think. And watch this. Reload like a clip. Perfect. This area is, the space is pretty trippy, but it's not a great space to have a boss fight in, I don't think. Got him. Got him, got him, got him. Now we can actually pin a ghost. So we pinned him, and I'm not going to unpin him because he's really annoying. So we got the key, which is all we need to get from him. Now we can grab Eileen and get out of this place. Sorry for... Hopefully she hasn't been any more damaged. No, she's fine in here. Cool. So yep, he's going to stay here for the whole game. Hate him that much. Alright, Eileen can't... I almost forgot. Can't leave Eileen alone. But since there's no more DeSalvo, we can just take care of these guys really calmly. And you can see what a difference the Spirit Medallion made to the fight, because all of a sudden he wasn't doing these ridiculous amounts of chip damage to me just by being in my radius. But you don't find many Saint Medallions. So you want to use them in spots like that, where you're facing off against the more powerful ghosts. And I don't want to jinx myself, but I am very glad that there are no wall men in this area like there were on the first visit. There's just these reeds, sort of growths. Because I can't say it enough, wall men suck. Alrighty. Yep. And you can hear him, he's right above us complaining. He's going to be saying ow for the rest of eternity, and to be honest, That's kind of what he deserves because he did torture all of those children. Now, this next section is the bit about playing with space I wanted to talk to you about, but also it kind of sucks because Team Silent went a bit crazy. So I'll just save the game and then show you what I mean. Hopefully we don't return to yet another haunting, because I think I'm down to just one candle, so it'd be nice to find a few more in the next world before we do that. So next world is Building World. So we're making really, really good progress, actually. Building World is probably one of the last big obstacles of the game. It's got a frustrating puzzle section in it that puts a lot of people off, even more so than the escort sections. But we've made decent time. Is there anything I can put away here? Put away this other medallion, I think, and instead of holding on to that, I'm gonna grab this back and a thing of bullets. And yeah, okay. So yeah, let show you the insanity. I'm pretty sure this area was not balanced in any way, shape, or form. The water prison for the second time around, but it's a good thing that it's still creepy and got great atmosphere. So I still love it. I'm gonna give Eileen her nightstick now, so she's gonna do a lot more damage. Okay, this is gonna suck. So we've got this generator room, and we have an absolute horde of enemies. And to be honest, I'm not really sure what the best way to get past these guys is, because they suck. They're really creepy, but there's so many of them. Can I? No, I can't aggro them from. I just gonna try and get one or two just out of the way. No, that's not worked. But I can do this. So you can shoot through enemies in this game, which does make the gun a bit more effective. I'm just going to quickly stomp on as many of them as I can. Okay, that went way, way better than I was expecting it to. So thank goodness for the fact that the bullets go through enemies and hit enemies behind, even when they're lying on the ground.
Please, don't leave me alone.
And you see this funky perspective? So in the original visit, which I should have shown you, the door is huge. So the corridor sort of ends at like this section, and the door takes up the entire wall. And of course, Henry can't reach the door handle. But now that the corridor has stretched, and that's really, really, really cool. Okay, so we finished Water Prison World again. So we're reaching pretty close to the end of the game, actually. So we've made pretty good progress through Silent Hill 4. And I hope I've said a lot of interesting things about it. So there'll be probably one more stream's worth of content. And then we've got this weird, like this surreal mannequin torture, and it's pretty obvious that Walter is a misogynist, has something against women, brutally beating and killing Eileen, and Cynthia's death as well was particularly bloody, and you can see that it was a female mannequin as well. So there's obviously something there. And Eileen herself, the imagery of this sort of woman who's a bit dolled up for the party, who's been beaten, is pretty horrible. Okay. Yeah, I think that's actually probably a good place to end it. So again, I'll upload the VOD, and we'll be able to do probably the entirety of Building World next time, and then possibly even the final boss. But we'll see what happens. Once again, thanks for showing up. Sorry about all the technical issues. I'm really hoping next time don't run into any of that stuff, but of course there's no guarantees, are there? So I'll try my best to sort it out anyway. See what's going on with that. But yeah, thanks again. Stay in the room.